Adrenal fatigue, as it's often used on the internet, refers to really a patient suffering from a constellation of symptoms. Oftentimes these center around fatigue, so feeling tired, sluggish, oftentimes having low energy, potentially low libido as well, craving caffeine, needing caffeine, somebody who needs their caffeine in the morning in order to get up and going. Unexplained weight gain, sometimes thyroid difficulties may be related to the adrenal gland, many different kinds of hormonal symptoms, so everything from menstrual irregularities to sleep disturbances, insomnia, different kinds of GI imbalances, constipation, diarrhea, alternating constipation, diarrhea, bloating. But somebody that has these adrenal fatigue symptoms, what I often recommend they start with are, number one, we know that stress is oftentimes related. So I recommend a meditation regimen. Now, there are currently on the internet many different kinds of guided meditation videos that you can get for free on YouTube. There's also different apps like Calm and several others that are very good, and these are oftentimes paid to get rid of the advertisements. But you'd be surprised what spending 15 minutes a day meditating and working on deep breathing will do for your stress level, and also at long term helping to control many of the symptoms of adrenal fatigue. Typically what I recommend is a plant-based diet for someone who's struggling with the challenges of adrenal fatigue. The reason why, and a lot of people will go to a paleo diet, but there are some specific reasons why I don't recommend that for somebody suffering from adrenal fatigue. Remember, the adrenal fatigue is someone, typically fatigue is a big complaint, that they don't feel good. They may have aches, they don't want to get up. If they get up and move, it hurts, they feel stiff, they feel tight. The challenge with the paleo diet is that most people are eating far too much meat on it. Many of the toxins in meat, just like in us, are actually stored in the fat. And so many of the chemicals that cows eat, the chemicals in the grass, even if you're getting organic meat, the water, we don't know where that comes from. Oftentimes we're finding that's contaminated. All of those, or many of those, are lipid-soluble compounds. Those organophosphates, many of the other things we're trying to avoid. And they localize in the fat. And so the challenge with the meat ingestion is that we're still getting those toxins in. So if we're needing to help detox, if we're needing to get that stuff out of the system, eating meat presents a huge challenge. Finally, the third, and perhaps the most difficult, is to start to increase exercise. This is very difficult to do. When you don't feel good, when you can't get up, when it hurts when you move, it's challenging. But what I find is that if you start gently, if you start very gently, and you do this over a period of about 3 to 4 weeks, you actually start to feel better. So I typically will recommend a very basic yoga routine. Now again, the difficulty there is most even beginning yoga videos are far too advanced for somebody with adrenal fatigue. So what I recommend is just basic range of motion. So just actually, it can be as simple as actually rotating your wrists for 5 to 10 cycles and then going in the other direction. It can be as simple as, again, moving the elbows and moving the shoulders, but getting the body moving. This plays a huge role. And even gentle walking, but finding an activity that you can do for 10 to 15 minutes just to help everything circulate. That, being on the plant-based diet and using the meditation, oftentimes will start to really eliminate some of these symptoms.